Asahi was an ugly, useless boy with no talent worth mentioning. One day, he was accidentally killed by the legendary Truck-kun and reincarnated into another world. By pure mistake, a luck skill awakened within him, a power capable of saving him at the very last moment. Even so, Asahi chose to hide his abilities, pretending to be nothing more than an ordinary boy. Our story begins in a village that had been completely reduced to ruins. Every soldier stationed there had been slaughtered by orc-type monsters. Yet, the massacre did not end there. Unsatisfied, the creatures intended to hunt down every remaining villager, killing them one by one, without the slightest trace of mercy. As the orcs prepared to celebrate their victory, an adventurer suddenly appeared before them. His name was Asahi, and without hesitation, he chose to stand against them alone. The monsters burst into laughter, mocking him openly. They claimed he had no chance of winning, that he was far too weak to oppose their numbers and overwhelming strength. Unfazed, Asahi warned them to stay back, threatening that they would regret it if they came any closer. One of the orcs sneered in response, remarking that if he possessed even half of Asahi's confidence, he would have already conquered the entire world. The exchange only fueled the monster's rage. One of them charged at Asahi without thinking, but before it could even lay a hand on him, a massive stone pillar erupted violently from the ground, piercing straight through the creature and killing it instantly. The one who unleashed that attack was Maya, Asahi's older sister. She hovered calmly in the air, her posture steady and composed. With powerful magic, she eliminated the second orc as well. Two enemies had fallen in an instant. She then prepared herself to face the third, who froze in sheer terror the moment he realized what stood before him. At this point, the story turns back in time. We see Asahi rescuing a young girl who was about to be struck by a speeding car. He pushed her out of harm's way, but the vehicle crashed into him instead. The impact left him critically injured. As his soul slipped away from his body, Asahi noticed that the girl was safe and still alive. A sense of relief washed over him. His thoughts then drifted to his sister Maya, wondering how she would react when she learned of his sudden death. In that very moment, a blinding light appeared before him. In the blink of an eye, he was transported to a strange new world. Upon opening his eyes, he saw creatures he had only ever known from fantasy, dragons and slimes. That was when he realized the truth. He had truly been reincarnated into a completely different world. Excitement surged through him. Calmly, he began walking through the city. Along the way, he accidentally bumped into a man and immediately apologized. As he continued, he noticed something surprising. Everyone spoke his language naturally. Soon after, he discovered the existence of an adventurer's guild. That realization filled him with joy. He was now certain that he had been reborn into a world much like the games he had loved for so long. He tried to take a photo with his phone, only to discover that it no longer functioned in this world. Deciding it was useless, he headed to a pawn shop to sell it. The shop owner examined the device and mistook it for a rare and mysterious artifact, offering to buy it for 500 coins. Asahi accepted without hesitation. With the money, he purchased a leather armor set and a new sword. His excitement grew even stronger as he began to dream of becoming a true hero, fighting powerful monsters, and carving his name into the world. Soon after, he headed to the Adventurers Guild. The receptionist welcomed him the moment he stepped inside. When Asahi explained that this was his first time accepting a quest, she reassured him that it was no problem at all. She handed him a registration form, officially registering him as an adventurer. She then recommended a simple beginner mission: hunting weak rabbits outside the city. However, the moment Asahi left the city gates, he came face to face with a dragon. Though its size was relatively small, it was still a dragon. Fear gripped him instantly, and he turned and ran. The dragon did not let him escape. It pursued him relentlessly, launching fireballs in his direction. Asahi managed to dodge them one after another before hiding behind a large rock. There, reality struck him hard. He realized just how weak he truly was. He possessed no special skill, no extraordinary power that could save him from this situation. The dragon spotted him again and moved in to finish him off for good. In desperation, Asahi picked up a stone and hurled it at the creature. But the attack was feeble and completely ineffective. Growing impatient, the dragon prepared to deliver its final blow and end everything once and for all. At that very moment, Asahi screamed at the top of his lungs, desperately calling out his sister's name and begging Maya for help. Suddenly, a massive magic circle formed in midair. In the next instant, Maya emerged directly in front of him. After everything that had happened, both of them felt overwhelming joy at seeing each other again. The dragon, however, paid no attention to their reunion. It charged straight at Maya with all its might. She evaded the attack effortlessly, and as she moved, an immense surge of power flowed through her body. To protect her younger brother, she gathered fire magic into her clenched fist and unleashed a single strike toward the dragon. One blow was all it took to kill it instantly. Asahi stood frozen in shock. His sister had defeated a dragon with just one attack. Questions flooded his mind, the most pressing of them being how she had even appeared in this world. At first, he thought what he was seeing had to be an illusion, but when Maya stepped closer and wrapped her arms around him, the warmth of her touch against his face made him realize the truth. She was real. When he asked her how she had managed to come here, she explained that his body was still lying in a hospital bed, trapped in a coma. She had been able to hear him speaking, mumbling strange things about another world. That was when she suspected that his soul had been transported elsewhere. Without hesitation, she had abandoned everything and risked coming after him. Hearing this, Asahi understood that his body was still unconscious in their original world. He decided that he wanted to return home together with his sister. When he asked her how they would manage that, she calmly replied that she had no idea. Her answer left him stunned. She had come to this world without even knowing how they would return. Maya then told him that none of that mattered to her. Her only concern had been making sure he was safe. Everything else was irrelevant. At that moment, Asahi realized that his sister had never had a plan to begin with. Accepting this, he decided to start his adventure in this world together with her. The story then returns to the present. Maya finished off the last remaining monster. Asahi recalled that she had claimed she wanted revenge for the villagers who had suffered, but in truth, her anger stemmed from something else entirely. The monsters had dared to call her brother weak. After the battle, Maya noticed a small scratch on Asahi's cheek and immediately grew worried, urging him to use a healing potion. He told her it wasn't necessary and that it would heal just fine if he washed it with a little water. In response, she teasingly said that she could simply lick his entire face clean, playfully doting on him as she always did. Meanwhile, one of the village girls mistakenly believed that Asahi was the one who had defeated the monsters. Before long, everyone accepted the idea, praising him as the hero who had saved the village. When Asahi later visited the Adventurers Guild, he was congratulated by everyone there. His heroic tale had spread rapidly. He was promoted to the rank of ghoul and handed the insignia that marked his new status, along with a stern warning that anyone who was weak yet pretended to be strong would be executed on the spot. Fear gripped Asahi. He desperately did not want anyone to discover his true weakness and sentence him to death. After leaving the guild, he asked Maya whether she could conceal her power and make others believe that he was the real hero instead. Later, Asahi wanted to check her status information, but Maya misunderstood his request at first. After he clarified the confusion, she finally showed him her true data. What shocked him was that no numbers were displayed at all. At that moment, Asahi realized the truth. Her power was so overwhelming that the system itself was incapable of measuring or displaying it. A deep sense of frustration washed over him. He felt like nothing more than a side character, while his sister was clearly the true protagonist of this world. He then asked her to promise never to reveal her status to anyone else. Maya agreed without hesitation. After that, they saw a group of adventurers passing by, admired by everyone around them. From the pawn shop owner, Asahi learned that they were the strongest adventurers currently active and were heading out to battle the demon army. Asahi began to think that if they managed to defeat the Demon King, he and his sister might be able to return to their original world. However, the shop owner looked at him seriously and told him that defeating the Demon King was neither easy nor simple. The leader of that group was named Siegfried. He had reached the rank of dragon, making his name famous among adventurers everywhere. After the group left, a drunken man suddenly appeared. He began hurling insults at Siegfried, causing trouble and creating chaos, even destroying the shop of an innocent man who had done nothing wrong. Fear spread among the people. The man had once been a ghoul-ranked adventurer, which left everyone too afraid to confront him. At that point, the shop owner told the crowd that Asahi was also ranked as a ghoul and could stop him. All eyes turned toward Asahi with admiration. Inside, however, his heart was pounding with anxiety, terrified that his true weakness would be exposed. The criminal openly humiliated him in front of everyone, which enraged Maya. Asahi asked her not to cause a scene and not to escalate the situation. But deep down, she decided that she would make the man suffer a little until he apologized. To keep things from spiraling out of control, Asahi asked her to help him act the part. In exchange, he promised to grant her any wish she desired. Asahi stepped forward to face the man, while Maya supported him with concealed magic no one could notice. To everyone watching, it looked as though Asahi himself was wielding powerful earth magic. In truth, Maya was controlling everything from behind the scenes. Fear seized the criminal, and he fled the area in panic. Cheers erupted among the people as they praised Asahi and chanted his name. Inside, Asahi felt a quiet sense of relief. His secret was still safe. That night, Maya reminded him of the promise he had made. She told him she wanted her wish, then asked for a kiss from her younger brother. Asahi froze in shock, completely unsure how to respond. At the same time, a powerful demon woman had single-handedly defeated a massive dragon. She declared that she had felt an enormous surge of energy suddenly appear in the world, and she was eager to meet its owner as soon as possible. A few days later, Asahi was fighting slimes. This time, he managed to defeat one of them entirely on his own, without any help. Maya was there as well, and with a single burst of fire, she wiped out dozens of slimes at once. After the battle, she felt proud of him. At the very least, he had defeated one with his own hands. Elsewhere, the strongest adventurer, Siegfried, appeared, only to be defeated along with his entire party by that same demon woman. He tried to attack her with what little strength he had left, but she was on a completely different level. She defeated him effortlessly, without even breaking a sweat. After the fight, she began searching for a new, stronger opponent who could truly excite her. Meanwhile, Asahi and Maya were on their way back home. Maya coughed lightly, and Asahi handed her his jacket to keep her warm. She was delighted by the gesture and hugged him happily. The next day, Asahi decided to take on a quest by himself. While Maya was busy washing clothes, she suddenly noticed that she could no longer sense his presence in the house. She went to his room and found a note saying that he had gone out for a short walk. She threw herself onto his bed, began smelling the sheets, and acted strangely, completely unaware of what she was doing. At that time, Asahi was at the Adventurers Guild, where the receptionist Tanya was searching for a suitable quest for him. She kept suggesting extremely difficult missions, ones that were impossible for him to complete without his older sister. In the end, she recommended an easy task instead, and Asahi accepted it without hesitation. The mission was to gather a type of mushroom known as colorful mushrooms. He headed into the forest and managed to collect a large amount without any trouble. While doing so, he noticed a warning sign indicating the presence of dangerous bears in the area. Suddenly, a massive bear appeared right in front of him. Asahi ran for his life before it could devour him. In desperation, he tried throwing the mushrooms he was carrying at it, but the bear happily ate them as if they were a delicious treat. In the next instant, the bear was struck by an overwhelmingly powerful spell. Asahi fell to the ground, overcome by a familiar sensation. Instinctively, he assumed that his older sister had saved him and thanked her aloud as he called out to her. But when he looked more closely, he realized it wasn't Maya. Panicking, he immediately apologized for what he had said. The one who saved him was the demon woman herself. Her name was Kilmaria, and she was surprisingly pleased when he had called her his older sister. Asahi thanked her for saving him just in time. Suddenly, another group of bears appeared. Kilmaria grabbed Asahi and hurled him high into the air, far away from danger. She then annihilated the bears with devastating spells. She killed them all in a single attack, all while ensuring that Asahi remained completely unharmed. After that, the leader of the bears appeared. Kilmaria was visibly excited to face him. The bear unleashed a powerful and dangerous attack. Kilmaria shielded Asahi and blocked it with a solid magical barrier. Then she counterattacked with brutal force, triggering a massive explosion that completely obliterated the bear. Asahi was left in awe of her power. He was shocked to discover someone else who possessed strength comparable to his older sister's. Kilmaria, on the other hand, felt slightly disappointed. Her opponent had been far too weak and far below her level. After the battle, Asahi learned the truth. Kilmaria was one of the 6 great demon leaders. He was stunned by the revelation, but Kilmaria reassured him. She told him that she never attacks the weak, and that she saw him as a little brother. She then explained that she had been searching for a man named Asahi, having heard rumors that he was incredibly powerful. Asahi quietly tried to slip away, but his rank badge fell from his pocket. Kilmaria noticed it, picked it up, and read his name herself. Believing that he was the powerful adventurer she had been looking for, she decided to fight him. At that exact moment, Maya sensed that her brother was in danger and rushed toward him without hesitation. Kilmaria began chasing Asahi, while he did everything he could to escape. Suddenly, Maya appeared right in front of them, and Asahi felt overwhelming relief the moment he saw her. Kilmaria instantly realized that Maya possessed an abnormal level of power. Maya, however, assumed that Kilmaria was trying to seduce her brother, especially because of her revealing outfit. She became convinced that Asahi had grown popular, and that everyone now wanted to be with him. From that moment on, the situation escalated straight into a brutal confrontation. Kilmaria attacked Maya, but Maya blocked the strike head-on. Both of them were caught off guard. Their powers were nearly equal. Kilmaria felt genuine excitement surge through her. She had finally found a worthy opponent. A fierce battle erupted between them. Their strength was so overwhelming that the surrounding area was completely devastated as their attacks clashed again and again. Maya was injured, yet she responded instantly, without hesitation. Kilmaria was slammed into the ground and declared that she would now use her true power. She summoned the strongest spell she possessed, a gigantic sphere of blazing fire, and unleashed it at Maya with everything she had. Maya answered with her signature technique, Big Sister's Whirlwind. In the end, she overwhelmed Kilmaria and defeated her. Kilmaria lost and accepted her fate. Maya was about to finish her off, but Asahi stopped her and begged her not to do it. Maya was shocked by his desire to spare Kilmaria, especially since she had believed Kilmaria was trying to seduce him. Asahi explained that Kilmaria had never attempted such a thing, and that she had, in fact, saved his life twice already. Kilmaria, however, had no interest in being pitied. At that moment, Asahi reminded her that he had called her his older sister earlier, and that she should listen to him. No one truly understood why that mattered so much, but in the end, they did not kill her. Afterward, Asahi and Maya returned home together. Kilmaria was happy to have met them and to spend time getting to know them. On the way, Asahi told her that he would personally cook dinner for her. She was overjoyed by the promise. During the meal, Maya commented that the mushrooms Asahi had gathered tasted far better than she had expected. After that, she went to take a bath, and the atmosphere finally settled down after everything that had happened. The next day, Asahi found himself running away from a weak goblin. He tried attacking it with a stone, but the strike was feeble and barely affected it at all. Suddenly, a group of goblins appeared and attacked him at once. In that instant, Maya arrived and rescued him effortlessly, using her powerful skills without even breaking a sweat. Later, Asahi checked his status and discovered that his level had reached 10. Maya was puzzled. Despite the large number of monsters that had been defeated, his level had not risen very much. That was when Asahi realized the truth. Growth did not depend on how many enemies were killed, but on how much real damage he personally dealt. Maya offered to help him grow stronger and asked him to attack her as part of his training. He refused immediately, saying that he would never want to hurt her. Instead, he told her that he would try to improve on his own and focus on learning new skills by himself. Even so, Maya continued teasing him until he used a skill called Escape. What happened next only fueled her excitement to catch him, and she succeeded. When Asahi tried to use Escape again, it failed. He simply did not have enough magical energy left. After that, Asahi headed to the Adventurers Guild. His goal was to become stronger so he would not be a burden to his sister, Maya. He thought that joining an adventuring party might help him grow faster. As he imagined fighting alongside a real team of adventurers, Tanya interrupted his thoughts and asked if he was looking for a party. She explained that any team needed to be well balanced and gave him an example: the powerful Balmonge party. That party was none other than Siegfried's team. It consisted of a sturdy defender, a mage capable of healing and strengthening allies, a ranged archer, and their leader Siegfried, who fought on the front lines. Asahi was impressed by their strength, but Tanya then told him the truth. The Balmonge party had been defeated by the demon army just a few days earlier. Asahi was stunned. He had never imagined that the strongest adventuring party could be defeated so easily. That realization made him question everything. Should he really join a party or continue walking his path alone? While walking through the streets, he noticed a drunken man arguing with a group of criminals who were trying to rob him, even though he clearly had no money. Asahi tried to help by throwing stones at the criminals. Enraged, the criminals turned on him. Suddenly, the drunken man stepped into the fight. With swift, precise strikes, he knocked down 2 of them in mere seconds. When the gang leader attacked, the man grabbed the blade with his bare hands, struck him square in the face, and finished him on the spot. After the fight was completely over, the man finally calmed down and returned his sword to its sheath. It was only then that Asahi realized the truth. This man was none other than the adventurer Siegfried himself. Asahi brought him some water and helped him slowly regain his senses. Siegfried thanked him, and as they talked, he confessed that he did not deserve either his name or the high rank he once carried. He admitted that he had been defeated by one of the demon leaders, someone far stronger than he could ever hope to be. He went on to say that he had been arrogant and careless. Everyone had placed their hopes on him to defeat the Demon King, yet in the end, he had only disappointed them. Asahi tried to encourage him, telling him that at the very least he had lived through countless adventures with his companions and experienced things few people ever would. But Siegfried revealed the truth about his party. Things had never been as ideal as people believed. He explained that the mage Mimosa loved parties and nightlife, wasting most of the party's funds. The elven archer Shula, despite having lived for over 150 years, constantly mocked him and shouted at him for no clear reason. As for the defender Gord, he never spoke at all due to severe communication issues, to the point that Siegfried had never even seen his face. In short, the party had been far from perfect. After their last battle, the group fell apart, each member going their separate way. Hearing this, Asahi realized that reality was not always as it appeared. Before long, he chose not to prolong the conversation any further. He said his goodbyes to Siegfried and wished him rest and better days ahead. After that, Asahi decided to accept a new quest from the guild. Suddenly, Tanya informed him that small dragons had begun attacking a nearby village. Asahi wanted to call for his sister, but the mission was assigned to him before he had the chance. He was forced to face a group of dragons on his own, something he had no hope of surviving without Maya. Just as things looked dire, Kilmaria appeared and saved him for the second time. Asahi thanked her, and she returned the rank badge he had lost during their previous encounter. Before he could relax, even more dragons appeared. At the same time, Maya arrived and wiped them all out in a single instant. She had sensed that her brother was in danger and rushed there immediately. Kilmaria tried to challenge her again, but Maya ignored her completely. Her entire focus was on Asahi alone. As they were about to leave, Kilmaria stopped them. Maya did not want Asahi looking at Kilmaria's revealing outfit. Kilmaria shot back that Maya wore similar clothes herself. Maya responded calmly that Asahi liked that kind of outfit. Hearing this, Kilmaria assumed Asahi was a pervert and stared at him in disbelief. Kilmaria continued provoking Maya, trying to start another fight, but Maya refused. At that point, Kilmaria decided to kidnap Asahi and asked him to play along. Without warning, Maya struck Kilmaria in the face, knocking her to the ground. She knew Kilmaria was not truly evil, but Kilmaria clearly had no intention of stopping, and another battle broke out between them. In the middle of the chaos, a dragon suddenly grabbed Asahi and flew into the sky. Both women chased after it immediately. Maya struck the dragon with a powerful lightning attack, while Kilmaria rescued Asahi at the last possible moment. After saving him, Maya wanted to return home, while Kilmaria wanted to continue playing with them. At that point, Asahi used the escape spell he had recently learned, disappearing and teleporting far away. Kilmaria was impressed by his ability to use a teleportation spell. She smiled as she said her farewell. Asahi felt relieved. Somehow the two of them had become friends in the end. After that, Asahi declared that he did not want to join any adventuring party. He preferred spending his time with his sister Maya alone. Unfortunately, she misunderstood what he meant. A few weeks later, Asahi no longer had enough money to pay his rent. Tanya noticed the problem. It had happened repeatedly and was becoming impossible to ignore. She spoke with him and told him about a mission that would suit him perfectly. Asahi dreamed of living in a place of his own. Tanya explained that the reward for the quest was an entire house he could live in. He accepted immediately, without hesitation. The mission was to cleanse an old, abandoned house of evil spirits. Maya put on her mission outfit right away and took Asahi with her. Together, they set off through the forest. Along the way, Maya began reminiscing about their childhood, how Asahi used to be afraid of ghost-themed toys, waking up in terror at night, and how she would sit beside him and calm him until he fell asleep again. Asahi told her that he'd grown up and was no longer afraid of such things, but the moment thunder roared across the sky, he flinched and clung to her without even realizing it. Maya laughed softly and encouraged him, telling him that everyone has things they fear, no matter how old they become. As they continued walking, Asahi suddenly felt as though something was attacking him from behind. When he turned around in panic, he realized it was only a cat. Startled out of his mind, he nearly strangled his sister by accident. Not long after, they arrived at the haunted house. Asahi tried to open the door, but an eerie and unsettling energy filled the air. Suddenly, a ghost appeared and declared that it could drain the life force of humans. Maya showed no fear at all and confronted it calmly. The spirit attempted to absorb her energy, but her power was far too immense for it to withstand. Unable to endure it, the ghost fled immediately. Relieved, the two of them celebrated the successful completion of the mission and the fact that they had gained a new house to live in. Maya then began planning strange and questionable things she intended to do with Asahi inside the house. After a while, Asahi asked her whether there was anything she feared, hoping to learn her weakness. To his surprise, she claimed she feared nothing at all. Asahi quickly realized she was not being entirely serious. Just then, Maya abruptly changed the subject and expressed her desire to find the ghost again. Deep down, Asahi wished it had disappeared forever. Without warning, the ghost attacked him. Maya immediately used a potion to save him. Moments later, plates began flying through the air and striking him, prompting Maya to hand him yet another potion. Then a pillow smashed into his face, while Maya continued consuming potion after potion without restraint. At that moment, Asahi finally understood why he was always poor and constantly running out of money. Soon after, the terrifying ghost appeared once more, clearly intending to fight Maya seriously this time. Asahi was overwhelmed with fear and hid behind her. The evil spirit attacked, but Maya blocked the assault using nothing but her voice. She announced that she would eliminate the spirit, yet the spirit had already been dead for a very long time. Suddenly, Maya decided to perform a complete exorcism using her full power. This terrified Asahi, as he knew that such force could destroy the house entirely. As a final attempt, the spirit tried to steal Maya's energy and seize control of her body. Maya resisted, but the spirit managed to take control. Asahi froze in terror. He realized that his sister's power could now put all of humanity at risk. He tried using the escape spell, but it only moved him a single meter each time. He quickly understood that it was useless in this situation. With no other choice, Asahi decided to save his sister himself. He stepped closer and tried to awaken her with honest words spoken straight from his heart. At that moment, Kilmaria appeared, having come to visit the siblings as she usually did. When she saw the scene, she assumed they were locked in a violent fight. Asahi calmed her down and explained everything, from beginning to end. Kilmaria suggested using her full power to stop Maya, but Asahi quickly stopped her, unwilling to have their newly acquired house destroyed. In the midst of the tension, while Asahi and Kilmaria were talking, Maya suddenly released her overwhelming aura. Kilmaria felt challenged and decided to confront her in an arm wrestling match, leaving Asahi standing there, completely unable to understand what was happening. Kilmaria explained that arm wrestling was the only way to free Maya from the spirit's control. She began provoking the ghost, and the challenge officially began. The two unleashed tremendous energy, completely destroying the furniture, while Asahi prayed desperately that the house itself would not collapse. They remained evenly matched, gradually increasing their power until a massive explosion shook the entire area. Both were unbelievably strong, but in the end, Maya managed to overpower Kilmaria. Suddenly, Maya attacked Asahi. Rage surged through him. He could not bear the thought of the spirit exploiting the sister he loved. His heartfelt, emotional words reached her, allowing her to regain full control of her body. After that, Maya hugged her brother. It was then revealed that she had only been pretending that the spirit was still controlling her. When morning came, she told him that the spirit had never truly possessed her at all, that she had merely been acting, and she apologized for worrying him. Like any siblings, they made up. Then they headed to the guild together. Sometime later, Kilmaria woke up to find that they had already left her behind. A few days later, Asahi and Maya officially received their mission reward, their new house. Asahi felt genuine happiness, knowing that he could finally live without rent or constant worry. In the days that followed, the two entered a dungeon known as Claudio. The place was old and terrifying. Suddenly, Asahi activated a trap, and a massive boulder began rolling toward them at incredible speed. Panic set in as he ran with all his strength, while Maya remained perfectly calm. She waited until the boulder came close, then shattered it with a single kick, as if it were nothing more than a pebble. Shortly before that, Asahi had been at the Adventurers Guild, where he learned that a new dungeon had appeared following a strange natural disaster. He understood perfectly well that the true cause was the battle between his sister Maya and Kilmaria. He decided to accept the quest and explore the dungeon himself, but Maya quickly caught up to him, following close behind to protect him. When they arrived at the dungeon, Maya stepped in front of him and stated clearly that she would accompany him and would not leave him alone. The two entered the dungeon together. Maya teased him as they moved forward, deliberately trying to scare him with her words, while Asahi jumped at even the faintest sound. Maya said she wanted to take the head of a monster as a souvenir. She then asked him what a dungeon truly was. Asahi replied that dungeon exploration was a dream for anyone who loved games and anime. He confidently declared himself an expert in dungeon exploration, only to activate another trap the moment he finished speaking. Maya saved him at the last second. After the first trap, she warned him to be more careful, yet almost immediately, he triggered another one. Maya fell into a deep pit, but emerged without a single scratch. Asahi felt a huge wave of relief knowing she was unharmed. They continued onward together, and before long, Maya sensed enemies nearby. A group of skeletal warriors appeared before them. Maya was about to attack instantly, but Asahi stopped her. At first, she thought he was trying to kiss her, but he hurriedly explained that he did not want her to attack. If she did, the dungeon might collapse on top of them. Asahi tried throwing stones at the skeletons, but failed completely. In the end, Maya finished the fight effortlessly, without even using magic. Asahi was amazed by her strength, even when she fought normally. They pressed on until they reached an ancient throne. Suddenly, a group of small bears appeared. One of them charged toward Asahi, and Maya asked him what he planned to do about them. He replied that he would keep their location a secret, so no one would come to harm them. After that, the two of them left the dungeon. As usual, Maya continued teasing him. Asahi asked her to stop joking around and told her he wanted to return home to eat lunch. Maya was about to go prepare the meal, but after she walked away, a group of monsters suddenly appeared and surrounded him. him. He barely managed to escape and make it back to the city. Later, a girl invited him into her house. Asahi felt a strange, dangerous aura and immediately used escape without hesitation. Because of her suspicious behavior, he was ready to confront her, but she laughed and said she was surprised that he had sensed danger from her right away. She then revealed her identity, telling him she was Kilmaria, and demonstrated a spell that changed her appearance within seconds. Asahi was stunned by her magic and asked why she had taken human form. She explained that she wanted to walk around the city with him and experience human life for a while. The two went out together, and after several hours, Asahi was surprised to see how normally she behaved, laughing, reacting with wonder to the simplest things, just like any ordinary girl. At night, they stood atop a tall tower, gazing down at the city below. Kilmaria noticed that Asahi seemed distracted and was clearly thinking about Maya. She asked if they had argued. Then, without warning, she offered to turn him into a demon, telling him that he would gain limitless power if he accepted. Asahi rejected the offer immediately. He said he could never accept such a thing because of Maya. He could not abandon her, as she was his family and his entire world. After that, Asahi returned to the guild and warned them about the danger of the dungeon, insisting that no one be allowed to enter it. Tanya was visibly jealous as she handed him the quest reward, clearly displeased. Later, Asahi and Kilmaria went out to eat lunch together to celebrate everything that had happened that day. Kilmaria thanked him for showing her what human life was like and how different it was. When the bill arrived, however, she tried to leave without paying. She did not even understand what money was. When the restaurant owner stopped her, she nearly attacked him, but Asahi quickly intervened and said he would cover the cost. He paid using the quest reward and explained that if she wanted to live among humans, she had to respect their rules. Kilmaria suddenly laughed. As they were talking, Siegfried appeared. When he shook Kilmaria's hand, he felt a strange energy coming from her and grew flustered. He quickly excused himself, telling Asahi to enjoy his date. That evening, Asahi returned home. Kilmaria planned to provoke Maya and boldly announced that she was Asahi's girlfriend. Maya sensed her aura instantly and struck her with a broom without hesitation. Afterward, Maya asked Asahi why he was late and told him she had prepared a special meal just for him. Asahi felt embarrassed, having already eaten lunch with Kilmaria. At that point, Kilmaria used a spell to empty his stomach and declared that she wanted to have dinner with them as well. Maya refused and told her to return to her own home. Kilmaria immediately began crying like a child. In the end, Maya gave in and allowed her to eat dinner with them. The moment Kilmaria tasted Maya's cooking, she was completely captivated. She praised it endlessly and declared that she should come over for dinner every single day. Sometime earlier, a young girl could be seen inside a church. Her mother handed her a magic staff and told her that when she grew up, she must use it to aid the hero in the war against the Demon King. The girl's name was Sophie. She waited as the years passed, and once she had truly grown up, she decided to search for the hero her mother had spoken of so often, on her own. Elsewhere, Asahi was hunting a wolf deep in the forest. The beast lunged at him without warning, but after a hard-fought struggle, Asahi managed to defeat it with his sword. Maya had been watching him from atop a tree in silence. Suddenly, a gigantic wolf appeared, one that looked ready to kill him on the spot. At that moment, Maya leapt from her hiding place and unleashed a powerful earth spell, obliterating the giant beast and saving Asahi at the very last second. She felt proud that he had managed to defeat a wolf by himself, but Asahi admitted, slightly frustrated, that he wished he possessed power like hers. Maya noticed a small scratch on him and decided to use an extremely rare potion to heal it. Asahi told her he did not need it. She then declared that she would lick the wound to heal it instead, causing him to flee from her immediately. While running away, he bumped into a group of adventurers who told him to move aside. By chance, he then collided with a gentle-looking girl, knocking her to the ground. Asahi apologized right away. The girl suddenly remembered her mother's stories about the hero. When she noticed the wound on him, she healed it instantly, without hesitation. Asahi thanked her, but their conversation was cut short when her companions called out to her. She was the dedicated healer of their party. A short while later, Maya found Asahi and announced that she would lick his wound to heal it. He explained that a healer had already treated him. When Maya failed to understand what a healer was, Asahi explained that healers were people who cured injuries and poisons. Maya understood it in her own way, deciding that healers were basically living healing potions, then confidently insisted once again that she could heal him by licking. After returning to the guild, Tanya informed Asahi of a mission to rescue a group of adventurers who had gone missing inside a new dungeon in the mountains. Sophie was among them. She was seen fleeing from a massive monster that had already devoured the rest of her group. Asahi arrived just in time and saved her, while Maya destroyed the gigantic monster with a single overwhelming blow. When Sophie regained consciousness, she believed believed that Asahi was the one who had saved everyone. She became attached to him, convinced that he was the hero her mother had always spoken of. Later, Asahi was eating with Maya at a small inn. Maya asked why he had not waited for the other adventurers to wake up and claim the reward together. Asahi replied that he had wanted to, but he smelled terrible and did not want anyone to see him in that condition. After that, Maya tried to seduce her brother, but Sophie suddenly entered the room and stopped her. Sophie explained that she was searching for the hero. Asahi was shocked when she addressed him by that title, knowing full well that Maya had been the one who truly saved her. Sophie asked to join his party, explaining that her mother had been a priestess and that she had been searching for the hero since childhood. Asahi liked the idea. Having a healer in a party was important, but said he needed to talk to his sister first. Sophie then introduced herself to Maya. Asahi worried that Maya might treat her harshly, but the opposite happened. Maya took an immediate liking to her, simply because Sophie kept calling Asahi a hero. Suddenly, Sophie's former party appeared. They began insulting her, demanding that she apologize, accusing her of being useless. Asahi was angered on her behalf, but Sophie did not remain silent. She responded with confidence, declaring that they were the weak and incompetent ones, humiliating them in front of everyone. She then openly announced her intention to leave their party and join the party of the hero, Asahi. The adventurers flew into a rage and decided to attack Asahi to teach both him and the girl standing beside him a lesson. Maya watched from a distance at first, without interfering, while Asahi had no desire to fight or escalate the situation. However, Sophie unintentionally dragged him into it. Suddenly, Maya threw pepper to blind them, attacked from the shadows, and within seconds had taken them all down. Once they lost consciousness, she grabbed her brother and helped him escape quickly. Asahi thanked her and asked why she had been against Sophie joining the party. He admitted honestly that he simply did not want extra trouble or headaches. It turned out that Maya actually liked Sophie a little, because she praised Asahi and called him a hero. By nature, Maya liked anyone who praised her brother, though she soon returned to teasing him as usual. The next day, Tanya was furious with the adventurers Asahi had rescued. She said they were lying and claiming they had not needed help at all. In her anger, she declared that next time she would leave them to their fate. Asahi had come to take on another quest. Tanya offered him an extremely dangerous mission, but he refused. After a long discussion, they finally settled on a task to collect honey from killer bees. The problem was that the required amount was enormous, and it would be difficult for him to gather it alone. At the same time, Maya was in the forest with Kilmaria, arguing fiercely because Maya was trying to force her to eat pepper, while Kilmaria stubbornly refused. Back at the guild, Sophie appeared once more, still admiring Asahi, and firmly determined to be on the same team as him. In the end, to make the mission possible, Asahi was forced to form a party with her. During the mission, Asahi fought the killer bees with the support of Sophie's healing magic. Together, they defeated the insects one by one. As time passed, Asahi could feel himself genuinely growing stronger. Eventually, he managed to kill a giant bee with a single strike, using nothing but a stone. As he collected the loot, a deep sense of joy filled his chest. For the first time, he truly felt like a real hero, not just someone carrying the title. Suddenly, Sophie asked him why he did not use his true power to wipe out the monsters more easily. Asahi lied and gave her a different reason, unwilling to let her discover that Maya was the real hero. They continued fighting the killer bees, and just as the mission was nearing completion, Sophie ran deeper into the forest and returned with an enormous swarm of bees. Believing it would help them finish faster, Asahi froze in fear. He did not want to die. He turned and ran, but Sophie fell to the ground. In that instant, Asahi decided he would not let her die. He stood his ground before a giant bee. His body trembled violently. Suddenly, a massive rock crashed down onto the monster, killing it instantly. Both of them survived. Sophie believed that Asahi had used earth magic to deliver the finishing blow. Her conviction only deepened. She now saw him as a truly legendary hero. She told him to rest for a while as she went to deliver the loot to the guild. Moments later, Kilmaria and Maya appeared. They were surprised to find Asahi alone in the forest. Asahi realized that Maya had been fighting with Kilmaria earlier, and that she had unintentionally thrown the massive rock, saving him without even realizing it. Only then did he understand. She had saved him once again, without ever knowing it. Asahi returned home with Maya, completely forgetting about Sophie. That evening, the guild staff went home for the day, while Sophie remained standing outside, waiting for Asahi. The next morning, Asahi went to the guild and immediately apologized when he saw that she was still waiting. A memory from his childhood surfaced. Back then, a dog had attacked him, and Maya had stepped in front of him, telling him to run while she protected him. At the time, Asahi believed the dog was attacking her, but in truth, The dog had only wanted to play and had never harmed her. When Maya saw Asahi crying, she realized the real reason behind his tears. He was upset because he felt he had been unable to protect her. Returning to the present, Tanya informed him of an urgent mission. The demon army had attacked a small village. Some villagers had managed to escape, clinging to hope that the hero Asahi and his sister Maya would come to save them, just as they always did. Suddenly, a massive one-eyed demon attacked one of the houses, clearly intending to seize the village. But Maya appeared at the perfect moment and killed it in a single second. When the remaining monsters saw this, terror filled their hearts and they fled. Asahi noticed that some monsters were still nearby and decided to deal with them. However, the creatures suddenly began dancing in a desperate attempt to save themselves. He had no intention of sparing them, but their movements hypnotized him. His attack stopped abruptly, and he rushed toward his sister, hugging her tightly and confessing his love. Maya was overjoyed when she heard his words. Moments later, his head collided with something, and he regained consciousness. When Maya tried to approach him again, he stopped her. She felt disappointed. Realizing that he had returned to normal, Asahi noticed the monsters and remembered that he had been hypnotized. An idea struck Maya. She prevented him from attacking and ordered the monsters to dance again. They did not understand at first, so she threatened them until they hypnotized him once more. Sure enough, Asahi fell under the spell again. He began acting like a small child clinging to his older sister. Maya was delighted, while he showered her with affection, repeatedly telling her how much he loved her. After some time, he regained consciousness, but Maya ordered the monsters to hypnotize him a third time. She was thrilled when it worked before he could fully recover. Later, Asahi complained of a severe headache. Maya sat him down and rested his head on her lap. Suddenly, he told her that he wanted to marry her when he grew up. Maya drifted into her imagination. She pictured their wedding, their friends celebrating them with joy, and believed herself to be the happiest sister in the world. Suddenly, a massive monster from the demon army appeared, ruining her dream. She was irritated that it had interrupted her fantasy. Asahi stepped in front of her to protect her. The monster mocked him, calling him weak. Asahi tried to prove otherwise and hurled a stone at it, but the attack had no effect. At that moment, a meteor was falling from the sky, and Asahi was terrified, crying in fear. The monster tried to strike him, but Maya blocked the blow. Enraged by the monster's mockery of her brother, she launched a devastating attack and crushed it completely. When everything was over, Asahi was in tears. He told her how upset he felt for being unable to protect her, for being so weak. Maya comforted him, telling him that he possessed qualities that made him strong in his own way, even if he could not see it yet. Encouraged by her words, Asahi promised that one day he would become strong enough to protect her. Suddenly, the meteor struck the back of his head. He collapsed unconscious. Maya intended to order the monsters to hypnotize him again, but she discovered that they were all dead. She was disappointed, having wanted him to remain that way a little longer. After a while, Asahi regained consciousness, remembering nothing of what he had done while hypnotized. He was confused and annoyed by Maya's strange dancing as she tried and failed to hypnotize him again. In the end, the two of them left the area together and returned home. There, she asked him one last time to say that he loved his older sister. Asahi refused. A deep sadness washed over her face. In the end, he tried to ease her pain. He told her that he had always respected her and truly appreciated her. His words reached her heart, and she admitted that things returning to normal was not such a terrible outcome after all. The next day, Asahi learned that Tanya had taken a day off. He was shocked to discover that she had gone out on a date. While walking through the city, he spotted her and was surprised by how different she looked in ordinary clothes. He complimented her without hesitation. When he asked about the date, she introduced him to her younger brother, Roy. Asahi was surprised to learn that Tanya was an older sister as well. Just like Maya, Roy was shy, staring intently at Asahi's sword. Asahi quickly noticed that Roy's personality was completely different from his sister's. Roy told him that his sister talked about Asahi every single day. Tanya hurriedly stopped him before he could say that she admired Asahi. It turned out that Roy loved adventurer stories and was thrilled to meet the hero Asahi in person. Asahi, on the other hand, felt embarrassed, knowing full well that it was actually Maya who defeated the monsters, not him. Tanya then explained that she needed guards for a certain mission. Roy eagerly suggested asking Asahi for help. Fear gripped Asahi. He was afraid they would discover the truth and see him as a fraud. He tried to refuse, but when he saw the innocent look in Roy's eyes, he agreed in the end. They traveled together by carriage. Tanya thanked Asahi for accompanying them and told him that they admired his character. Asahi tried to talk with Roy, but his shyness was obvious. Through their conversation, Asahi realized that Tanya truly was a good older sister. Suddenly, a dragon attacked, breathing intense flames toward them. Asahi managed to save them at the very last moment, but the driver and the horse fled in terror, abandoning them. Roy cried in fear, while Tanya remained confident that Asahi would defeat the dragon with ease. Asahi himself knew the truth. He was no match for it. He remembered how Maya had always protected him when he was younger. This time, he decided that he would be the one to protect them. He attacked the dragon, but his efforts were useless. When the dragon prepared to breathe fire again, Asahi hurled a stone into its mouth, but it barely had any effect. Then, suddenly, the dragon exploded. Roy and Tanya rejoiced, believing it was Asahi's victory. Asahi stood there in complete shock. After the battle, Roy felt discouraged and called himself weak. Asahi encouraged him, telling him that he too had been weak as a child, successfully lifting his spirits. Tanya thanked Asahi for saving them, and they decided to return to the city together, with Roy eagerly listening to Asahi's stories along the way. But the shock came when the dragon was revealed to still be alive and attempted to attack them again, until Maya appeared at the perfect moment and protected them without anyone noticing. Later, Asahi returned from monster hunting utterly exhausted, to the point that Maya and Kilmeria had to help support him. Kilmeria asked whether his level had increased. When Asahi checked his status, he was stunned. He had reached level 20. Even more surprising, he had gained the ability to use light magic. Kilmeria then explained to Maya that this world was divided into 8 elemental attributes. Asahi remarked that, in games, heroes usually wield light magic to defeat evil. Suddenly, a massive bull-like monster appeared and began rampaging through the city. Fired up, Asahi decided to face it himself, eager to test the light magic he had just acquired. He selected the spell and attacked, but to his shock, light magic had absolutely no effect on the beast. He burst into tears, while the 2 girls tried to calm him down and comfort him. After that, they went after a group of criminals. Asahi mocked the gang's name, only for its members to suddenly appear and attempt to intimidate him. Maya and Kilmeria immediately attacked them for their rude behavior, but Asahi stopped them, explaining that they had a specific goal. Earlier, Tanya had told him at the guild that criminals had been forging adventurer ranks, damaging the reputation of real adventurers. Hearing this had deeply hurt Asahi, because he realized that, unintentionally, he himself had been living under a false rank. Later, he accepted a mission to capture a gang known as the Black Forgers. When he arrived, he discovered that all of the subordinates had already been defeated by his sisters. Suddenly, the gang leader appeared and declared himself a ghoul-ranked adventurer. Asahi was angered by the fact that someone with such power used it for crime instead of good. The leader justified his actions by claiming that the guild took all the money and left them with nothing, then proudly displayed his strength. Asahi prepared to fight. At that moment, Sophie appeared to help him, bringing several people along, hoping to show off Asahi's abilities. Instead, she pushed him into yet another difficult situation. The leader attacked, but Asahi dodged the strike. The leader's sword suddenly shattered, and with Maya's help, Asahi managed to defeat him. Asahi thanked Maya. She was overjoyed and rushed forward, hugging him tightly. After that, another forgery gang appeared mid-attack. A powerful maid swiftly defeated their members. Then the gang's leader showed up, boasting about his strength, only for his attack to be blocked by an adventurer named Gloria. Gloria struck him down with a single swift blow, sending the gang fleeing in terror. After the fight, the maid Kuon thanked Gloria for saving her. When Gloria learned that the other forgery gang had been defeated by a new adventurer named Asahi, she immediately decided to seek him out for a battle. In the end, the villagers held a feast in Asahi's honor. He felt guilty eating without Maya by his side, but she told him to enjoy the celebration. After that, Asahi learned that the orc monsters had begun causing trouble again. The village did not have enough money to hire adventurers. Without Maya, he had no idea what to do. Then, suddenly, the monsters appeared, and all the villagers were confident that he would defeat them. A large number of orcs gathered around him, seeking revenge for their fallen comrades. A red orc attacked, striking Asahi and hurling him through the air. In that moment, Asahi realized the truth. He stood no chance against it. At the same time, he saw 2 villagers being attacked nearby. Suddenly, the maid Kuon appeared and saved them, swiftly eliminating the monsters. Asahi was shocked to see a maid fighting with such overwhelming strength. Moments later, Gloria appeared as well and declared that she would personally protect the villagers. She charged straight at the red orc, announcing that she would destroy it. Leaping forward, she struck once, splitting the monster cleanly in half. After the battle, Gloria expressed her frustration with Asahi. Doubt crept into her eyes as she began to suspect him, believing he was weak, perhaps even a fraud. Just then, a small girl stepped forward and confidently declared that Asahi was strong. That only strengthened Gloria's resolve to expose his weakness in front of everyone. She decided to challenge him to an official duel. At that moment, Kuon sensed a powerful incoming attack and intervened, protecting Gloria at the last second. Gloria mistakenly believed that Asahi was the one who had attacked her. Without hesitation, she formally challenged him to a public duel. All the while, Maya watched everything from afar, completely unnoticed. A few days later, the duel between Asahi and Gloria began. Asahi was terrified, fully aware of how powerful she was. The crowd wished him luck and gathered eagerly to watch the match. Despite his fear, Maya encouraged him, telling him she would support him from behind the scenes, without anyone noticing. Asahi stepped into the arena and faced Gloria head-on. Killmaria was worried for him, but Maya calmly reassured her that everything was under control. Suddenly, Kuon appeared behind them. Her presence nearly ruined the plan, as it made any interference far more difficult. Gloria launched her attack with her sword. Asahi barely managed to dodge her strikes, wondering desperately why Maya had not yet stepped in to help him. Overcome with worry, Killmaria nearly intervened to attack Gloria herself, but Maya stopped her, saying that this time, Asahi could win on his own. Asahi began to focus, searching carefully for Gloria's weakness. He recalled their earlier encounter and decided to defeat her with strategy rather than brute force. Suddenly, Gloria prepared her final strike to end the duel. At that exact moment, Asahi cast light magic, blinding her. Seizing the opening, he finally defeated her. The crowd erupted in celebration, cheering for Asahi as if he were a true hero. Gloria, humiliated by her defeat, questioned him, asking why he had not used his full power. Asahi replied calmly and respectfully, saying that he did not strike women. His words had an immediate effect. Gloria fell in love with him on the spot. Her face turned bright red with embarrassment. She waved at him shyly, then fled in a hurry. The next morning, Asahi was preparing for a new mission, but Killmaria was drunk and causing trouble. Maya scolded her loudly, telling her to stop drinking beer so early in the day. She ordered her to stay home and take care of the house while they were gone. Asahi headed out for his mission. At the same time, Sophie was searching for him. The moment he saw her, anxiety crept in. He feared she would cause more trouble, as she often did. Maya tried to lift his spirits and encouraged him to think positively. Sophie was eager to prove that she was useful, but Asahi quickly realized that she was almost completely ineffective. He was baffled by her strange and erratic behavior. While they were in the forest, they reached a point where the path split into two routes. Sophie suggested that they divide into two groups, so she could stay with Asahi. He immediately told Maya to go with Sophie instead, because Sophie almost always dragged him into trouble. Maya went with Sophie, and along the way, she began sharing embarrassing secrets about Asahi. Sophie listened closely, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Not long after, a goblin appeared, and Asahi prepared to fight. Suddenly, another goblin tried to attack him from behind, but it was instantly burned by powerful flames and vanished. The second goblin charged as well, only to explode the moment it attacked. That was when Asahi realized the truth. Killmaria was protecting him from afar. Asahi thanked her, saying he now understood why Maya had agreed to go with Sophie. She had known all along that Killmaria would be watching over him. Killmaria laughed and told him that his sister was definitely not an ordinary human. Her senses were terrifyingly sharp. She added that in order to observe them without Maya noticing, she had been flying at a distance of nearly 5,000 kilometers. Yet even then, Maya's senses could detect her at any moment, which genuinely frightened her. After that, they reminisced about their very first meeting, when Asahi had been fleeing from a bear and Killmaria had saved him. She told him that she had felt truly happy when he had called her by mistake and compared her to his older sister. Suddenly, they heard someone crying out for help from deep within the forest. Asahi rushed ahead to investigate. When he arrived, he found people who looked like zombies. He was shocked, unable to understand what had happened to them. At that moment, a masked mage appeared. He was draining the villagers' souls. The instant he saw Asahi and realized he was an adventurer, he summoned an army of the dead and sent them to attack. Asahi managed to defeat the skeletal soldiers, but the mage looked down on him and attempted to absorb his soul directly. Killmaria intervened just in time and saved him. The mage was utterly stunned when he saw her standing before him. The mage introduced himself, declaring that he served the demon General Utapos. He claimed that with Killmaria's help, they could completely destroy the human city. Asahi immediately rejected the idea, insisting that Killmaria would never do such a thing, because she was the kindest and most gentle older sister he had ever known. Killmaria grew flustered at his words, while the mage assumed Asahi was joking and not taking the situation seriously. That assumption proved fatal. Killmaria flew into a rage and struck him with a crushing blow that erased him completely, leaving no trace behind. At last, the villagers were saved. Afterward, Killmaria told Asahi that she felt lucky to have a brother like him, even if they were not related by blood, and that his presence had changed many of the things she once believed. Soon after, they reunited with Maya and Sophie, and Maya immediately began checking Asahi to make sure he had not been injured. The group then shared how they had discovered the rare flower and how a massive rock had nearly fallen on Sophie during the search, only for Maya to save her at the final moment. The following morning, Gloria was still asleep while Kuon tried to wake her by force. Shortly after, Gloria finally got up and prepared herself. She had important business to attend to. At the same time, Asahi was at the guild, where everyone thanked him for defeating the mage and rescuing the villagers. Tanya encouraged him, telling him that he was now very close to being promoted to the rank of dragon. However, there was a surprise. Gloria had begun watching him from afar. Before long, as Asahi walked through the streets, Gloria suddenly appeared in front of him. She had been waiting for some time. The moment she saw him, she grew tense and could not find the words to speak. Flustered, she called out to Kuon for help. Overwhelmed by her shyness, the two whispered to each other, and Kuon nearly revealed Gloria's feelings for Asahi, but Gloria stopped her before she could finish. Asahi misunderstood the situation completely. He believed that Gloria still doubted him and thought he was forging his rank. This misunderstanding continued until they decided to head into the forest for a mission meant to prove his rank. Along the way, Kuon asked Gloria why she had not invited Asahi out with her. Gloria grew even more embarrassed and asked Kuon for advice. Suddenly, she tried to take Asahi's hand, only to accidentally break his arm. She continued attempting to seduce him, but her overwhelming strength caused him more pain than anything else. Asahi praised Kuon for her patience in dealing with Gloria, who constantly caused trouble for herself. Kuon replied that Asahi should also be proud of himself. After all, he had two older sisters who behaved in almost the same way. Deep in the forest, Asahi used light magic, revealing a group of bound adventurers. At the same time, a violent earthquake shook the area, the result of a gigantic tree monster emerging. Asahi and Gloria barely managed to avoid its attack. When Asahi tried to fight alongside her, Gloria's focus wavered. She had begun daydreaming about marrying him. In that moment, the tree monster grabbed her and restrained her. Realizing that Asahi had seen things he should not have, Gloria's embarrassment intensified. Enraged, she attacked the monster with her full power and completely destroyed it. After returning to the city, Gloria felt depressed over how her date with Asahi had failed. Kuon tried to comfort her, teasing her about what had happened to ease her sadness. The next morning, Asahi woke up to find Kuon standing in front of him. He jumped in surprise. He soon learned that Maya had allowed Kuon to enter his room without waking him. Kuon asked Asahi to help Gloria move her belongings to her new home. He agreed without hesitation. They began helping with the move, and after a while, Gloria herself appeared. The servants of her family tried to stop her, but she insisted on going to her new home by any means necessary. Suddenly, an elderly man named Sebastian appeared and tried to stop her. Gloria declared that no one would prevent her from leaving. When Sebastian claimed that he had once been a powerful adventurer, Gloria defeated him with her overwhelming strength in a matter of seconds. Afterward, Sebastian explained that her father was simply worried about her and wanted her to become a refined lady worthy of the family name. Gloria, however, despised noble parties, formal gatherings, and everything associated with them. As they sat together in the carriage, Gloria felt embarrassed that Asahi had witnessed her family troubles. He told her that such things were normal, that no household was without conflict. Later that afternoon, Asahi discovered that Gloria had actually moved into another mansion owned by her family, not a small house, as he had originally believed. While helping organize the place, he tried to lift a heavy table, but failed. Gloria stepped in and lifted it effortlessly, as if it weighed nothing at all. Meanwhile, Sebastian watched Gloria from the rooftop. He summoned a dragon rank adventurer named Tiga to assist him. Suddenly, everyone felt an overwhelming presence behind them. It was Maya. She had been watching her brother from afar. The moment they sensed her terrifying power, they immediately decided to retreat and return to their homes. Before she could eliminate them one by one, Kuon noticed everything that had happened, but she chose not to comment. At the same time, Gloria was feeding Asahi by hand until he was completely full, so much so that he looked as if he were actually pregnant. Suddenly, Kuon suggested that they offer Asahi a job. Gloria immediately began imagining him dressed in a maid's uniform, his hair tied up in a strange style. However, due to a misunderstanding, Kuon quickly clarified her real idea. She wanted to form an adventurer clan with Asahi, not hire him as a servant. After that, Asahi went to Tanya and told her about the clan idea. She agreed immediately and strongly encouraged him, especially since it would also increase the guild's reputation. Not long after, Siegfried appeared. It turned out that Tanya had once been his admirer, but all of that vanished the moment she saw him carrying stale pieces of bread, his appearance now closer to that of a beggar. Tanya asked Asahi whether he had chosen a name for the clan yet. He replied that he still had not decided. Suddenly, Sophie appeared behind them and declared that she wanted to join the clan and prove herself. Asahi felt slightly uneasy when he realized that Sophie's level was higher than his. The girls wanted to know his condition and status, but he hid his weakness, claiming that he disliked boasting about his high stats. They believed him without question. At that moment, Gloria arrived and saw Sophie clinging to Asahi. Jealousy flared instantly. Without saying a single word, she turned and left. Kuon explained that Gloria did not have a stable mindset or any true friends. That was why she wanted to create this clan, to find genuine companions and stop being alone. Asahi thanked Kuon for her honesty and told her that she was a truly loyal friend. Embarrassed, she lowered her gaze and fell silent. That night, Maya was cooking while Asahi sat alone, thinking about the clan's potential members. He noticed that every single one of them was far stronger than he was, and anxiety crept in. He feared that his weakness would eventually be exposed. Maya noticed his distraction, and he told her about the clan idea and what troubled him. He suggested that she become the leader since she was the well-known hero. Maya refused immediately. She insisted that he was the one who had saved people and that he was the true hero. Asahi could hardly believe what he was hearing. Her words encouraged him deeply. She told him that he was not weak at all and that he was the best little brother in the world. A few days later, the clan was officially formed. However, during their very first mission, Asahi was turned into stone by a strange monster. Maya and the others desperately searched for any possible way to save him. It turned out that Asahi was fully conscious. He could hear everything they said and see everything around him, even though he was completely unable to move. Deep down, he prayed that he would not remain petrified for thousands of years. Maya briefly considered using the opportunity to kiss him and restore him, but she stopped herself at the last moment. She carried him to her bed and tried other methods to save him, all of which failed. Soon, all the girls gathered together, still unable to find a solution. Suddenly, Maya suggested that they take a bath with him. The others agreed without hesitation. Laughing happily, they began pouring water over him. While inside, Asahi was utterly shocked, unable to process what he was witnessing. When the bath failed, Maya grew frustrated. The girls reassured her that they would find another way. At that moment, Kilmeria arrived to visit them. Maya decided to try kissing Asahi to break the petrification. She moved closer, but Kilmeria attacked and stopped her at the last second. Maya grew angry and insisted that she was only trying to save him. In response, Kilmeria used an extremely powerful healing spell that restored Asahi instantly. Asahi was stunned to discover that Kilmeria could heal as well. It turned out she had learned it as an additional skill. In the end, Maya realized that Asahi had been conscious the entire time and had seen everything. Kilmeria demanded some money from Asahi as payment for saving him so she could buy more beer. At that moment, Maya rushed to her room, clearly embarrassed that he had seen her while she was bathing. The next day, they went to the guild to officially register the clan. When Asahi was asked for the name, he had no idea what to choose. The group suggested names like Star Party or Hero Party. Asahi hesitated, unable to decide on a suitable name. Finally, Maya stepped in and named it Asahi's Powerful Party. After that, they were seen heading toward the sea. Two of them were playing among the high waves. Suddenly, however, Tanya and Sophie were attacked by sharks near the shore. The sharks threatened them fiercely. At that moment, a massive flying shark appeared in the sky, declaring that it sought revenge for its brethren who had been killed earlier. Gloria provoked it, causing the creature to summon its followers and launch a violent attack on Asahi's group. The girls responded with extremely powerful spells and defeated them effortlessly. One of the sharks attempted to attack Maya from behind. Asahi rushed forward to protect her, but he was caught in a powerful whirlpool. Maya tried desperately to save him and eventually succeeded. When Asahi regained consciousness, Maya was overjoyed to see him safe, but they soon realized that they were completely alone on a deserted island. Maya reassured him that Kilmeria would definitely find them. Together, they decided to search for food and water. Asahi felt happy, knowing he would be able to spend quiet time alone with Maya. They continued searching until they found a river. Maya cut down a massive tree and turned it into firewood. They went fishing afterward. Asahi managed to catch a small fish, while Maya skillfully caught a much larger one. Asahi also used his stone-throwing skill to hunt a small bird. Maya prepared lunch, and the two of them ate together happily. That evening, they sat by the sea. Asahi told her that he had experienced so many things since arriving in this world, and asked whether she liked their new life. Maya replied that she was happy as long as she was with him. Asahi admitted that he had been scared at first, but felt comforted and joyful when she appeared. He thanked her for always helping him. Those peaceful moments were abruptly shattered when a massive flying shark emerged from the sea. It was the Great Shark King, furious over the deaths of its followers. Suddenly, Kilmeria appeared along with the other girls, and together they attacked the monster. Asahi was shocked to see all of his friends there. Only then did he realize that the wish Maya had made was to spend an entire day alone with him on a deserted island. The girls had been watching everything from afar, hearing everything the two of them had said. At that moment, the Great Shark King summoned all of its followers. The sharks transformed, no longer ordinary monsters, but gigantic entities resembling mechanical warriors. They merged together into a form resembling a colossal robot and prepared to unleash a devastating attack. Asahi was horrified, realizing that being hit by such an attack could cause a true catastrophe. Maya stepped forward, determined to destroy the giant shark robot. She unleashed an immensely powerful lightning spell that split the sea in two. Kilmaria was left in shock at the overwhelming power. Then, irritated that the sharks had ruined her mood, Maya decided to use her full strength. She cast a massive fire spell that burned the shark completely, turning it into grilled fish. After the battle, Maya and Kilmaria got into a small argument, fueled by exhaustion and anger. Meanwhile, Asahi sat nearby, enjoying the atmosphere with Tanya, feeling that the day had been filled with adventure. Several weeks later, on a day of heavy rain, the two older sisters claimed that they could passionately kiss until the rain stopped. Asahi immediately used the escape spell, leaving them disgusted by the sudden turn of events. In the end, a witch named Wally appeared. It was revealed that she had been the cause of the rainy day, attempting to make the atmosphere more fun and filled with magical surprises. The next morning, the rain had stopped, but the streets were completely flooded. Suddenly, a slime emerged from the water and attacked Asahi. Maya reacted instantly, slicing off the slime's arm and saving him, yet it tried to strangle him again. Maya and Kilmaria immediately began arguing over who would save him, and in the end, Asahi managed to break free on his own. It quickly became clear that the entire city had been overrun by slimes, and that many villagers were under attack. A large-scale evacuation began at once. Asahi rushed to help the people and spotted Tanya being attacked by a slime. He saved her, and she thanked him warmly. Soon after, Maya realized the scale of the destruction caused by the slimes, and suspicion began to grow that someone was controlling them from behind the scenes. Tanya told them that Roy had gone out to play early that morning and might be in danger. Asahi promised to find him so she could continue evacuating the villagers. Maya decided to wipe out all the slimes, and Kilmaria shared the same desire. However, Asahi stopped them, explaining that using their full power could destroy the entire city. They listened and held back. Suddenly, they felt the enemy's presence. At the same time, Tanya was helping civilians when a spell activated, causing monsters to appear and attack the people. Just then, the Palmung clan intervened, casting a powerful fire spell that destroyed the flying monsters and shattered the magic gate. The villagers thanked them profusely. Soon after, new monsters emerged from another magic gate, intent on slaughtering humans. Roy was hiding with an injured girl, unable to escape because she could not walk. Suddenly, Asahi appeared. Roy was overjoyed to see him. Asahi thanked him and told him he was brave for protecting the girl the entire time. They began searching for a safe route, but monsters surrounded them, trapping them with massive slime serpents. Asahi could not fight while carrying the injured girl. At the very last moment, they were saved by the criminal who had appeared at the beginning of the story. Asahi was stunned. An old enemy had come to their rescue. Another slime serpent appeared, but Siegfried rushed in and saved them, cutting the monster down in a single strike with his sword. Afterward, Siegfried told them the battle was not over. They had to destroy the slime core. He entrusted Asahi with the task, ordering him to escort the children to safety, then locate and destroy the core, while Siegfried fought the monsters himself. Tanya went to seek help from the nobles, but no one opened their gates. Elsewhere, Asahi searched for a safe place and found an abandoned church. At the same time, Tanya considered asking for help from Gloria's family, but slimes attacked her along the way. Inside the church, the injured girl thanked Asahi for saving her. Meanwhile, Sophie continued healing the wounded without rest. She was utterly exhausted, yet she refused to give up. When she met Asahi, she nearly collapsed from fatigue, but still poured all her strength into healing the injured girl. Suddenly, a member of Sophie's former party screamed in pain. Sophie rushed to heal him, but he and his companions treated her with arrogance. Enraged, Sophie taught them a harsh lesson, as they had been terrorizing the people of the city. Despite his anxiety, Asahi decided to search for the slime core. The adventurers assured him they would protect the civilians. Elsewhere, Tanya stood before Gloria's family mansion while monsters attacked the people. The evil sorceress, behind the chaos, watched happily, delighting in the destruction she had caused. But Maya and Kilmaria found her and decided to eliminate her immediately. Inside the mansion, Gloria tried to convince the servants to open the gates and shelter the people. The old man refused, claiming it was his duty to protect the estate. In the end, Gloria persuaded him and opened the gate, rejoicing when she saw Tanya. Tanya told her that Asahi was still in the city, searching for Roy. Suddenly, a monster attacked Tanya, but Tiga appeared at the perfect moment and saved her, despite his strange appearance. At the same time, Maya and Kilmaria confronted the demon sorceress Gali. Gali asked Kilmaria whether she had betrayed the demon king and urged her to help destroy the city. Maya intervened and rejected her outright. Enraged, Gali attacked Maya with a powerful fire spell. Elsewhere in the city, Asahi continued searching for the slime core. Suddenly, Gloria appeared, and he was overjoyed to see her, and Kuon, who used her abilities to locate the core. She succeeded. At that moment, Gali was shocked to see that Maya had survived her spell. Kilmaria countered with a powerful fire attack, blasting Gali away. Though severely injured, Gali managed to escape. Sensing danger, Kilmaria stepped back as Maya prepared to end the fight herself. On the other side, Asahi's group tried to destroy the slime core, but the monster was incredibly fast. Suddenly, it attempted to hide the core in the sky. Asahi asked Gloria for help. She agreed and threw him high into the air. Asahi struggled as the monster tried to drag him down. With all his strength, he threw a stone, striking the core directly and shattering it. The legendary slime was defeated. Asahi fell toward the ground, but Maya rushed in and caught him before he was hurt. The city was saved. Villagers and adventurers alike rejoiced. Asahi wondered what had become of the slime, only to learn that it had vanished into a pit, along with the defeated Gali. That evening, Asahi was promoted to the rank of Golem. Only one rank remained before Dragon. His friends celebrated his victory and promotion, enjoying the meal Maya had prepared with her own hands. Later, Asahi found Maya outside and thanked her for being such a wonderful older sister. She blushed and tried to kiss him, but Sophie interrupted, saying that Gloria was crying because she felt rejected. Asahi